Hey Lonely Watchers, welcome back to another video. Hopefully this doesn't get dated immediately, but we're back to a weekly upload schedule, it looks like. We're mostly weekly. Anyway, onto the topic of today's video. This little guy. So you all remember the 5th Yokai Watch movie, right? Forever Friends. Have you been following Level 5 out, if you're from outside Japan and you've been following from what's going on the inside, you've definitely heard of this movie. And within the community, the results are pretty, the same. If you ask anybody about this movie, it's one of the best, if not the best Yokai Watch movies. It's so good, it's raw, it's everything. It's everything you need to love about Yokai Watch with a more mature angle, which is something that Shadowside kind of failed at. And I feel like a lot of people, even non-Yokai Watch fans, could really appreciate Forever Friends. Like, I've had my mom see Forever Friends at one point, and she was all into it. Well, it seems like Level 5 was struggling in the direction they wanted to bring Yokai Watch at the time, and so they were flip-flopping between that, like the Shadowside and the original series, and the Gakuen, and all this other stuff. So we never really got anything out of Forever Friends. I mean, in Japan it was pretty well received by some fans anyway, but it wasn't running over a lot of people, so I guess it makes sense that they didn't really do much with it. But it was still pretty good to warrant some kind of expansion. Now, yes, the characters in the setting, Sakura Moromachi, do make an appearance in Yokai Watch 4, but it's pretty much retelling the same story and just blending it with the stories of Keita and Natsume and the gang, so it doesn't really count. What I'm looking for was like a full expansion, like maybe a story expansion DLC in Yokai Watch 4++, or like a game, or a movie sequel. Well, probably the least likely is a game, or something like a movie sequel, or even just a manga would be nice. The fact that Yokai Watch Forever Friends didn't really get anything substantial is kind of jarring, and the fact that it didn't really get much of a manga presence is also kind of jarring, because even though, I couldn't read it, people would probably translate it eventually, like Spectre subs at the time definitely would have. But yeah, it's a shame that we never got to expand on this universe. Anyway, here are 3 reasons that Level 5 should have continued Forever Friends. Number 1, the dynamic is really fun. Didn't mean to rhyme there, but it ended up that way. I love the interactions between all the characters, especially Tei and Shin and well, you watch the movie, you know what happens to. Also between Nekomata and Kappa and Zashiki Warashi aren't very interesting characters, but Nekomata, Gusto as he was localized, yeah, they were really fun characters, them and Tei and Shin, and I love like how they all bounced off each other really well. The protagonists like really went together, like, how it wasn't the same, like with Shadowside it was pretty much there, but they were pretty worked well together. And in the original series, like Keita as well, Nate with like Buck and Haley and Nathaniel, those were kind of eh. I mean, Buck, the relationship with Buck is pretty good, but we've never had like such a cool dynamic in Yokai Watch between like the yokai and the humans and the other humans. So like seeing them go on like full-blown like anime-esque adventures, like something similar to like a mix between like Shadowside, the original series, would be really cool. Like I feel like there's definitely a lot of areas that were unexplored here. There's definitely a lot of Sakura Motomachi that we haven't seen. And I feel like the interactions between the characters are so fun and charming. I love every time they're on screen and whatever they say together, and even in the emotional moments, it's so incredible. So I feel like they could very easily expand this into something worthy and something like a manga or an anime or something. Speaking of emotion, number 2, how raw and unfiltered the emotion is. I just love it. Like, Shadowside tries to go for like a more darker tone and like a more like scary, like freaky tone, and there's some like emotional moments, but usually they're like played off, you know, a lot, like how Toma was killed and then like revived immediately after, or how like Natsume was thrown in the river and then like immediately revived. I mean the Azure Dragon, you know, thing, and that whole moment scene was a bit touching, but it was more so like dark in a messed up sense. Like it was dark like an evil, like eerie sense, but you know, Forever Friends isn't like that. It has like an emotion, and it has really raw emotion. There's some really sad parts in it, and even some like mildly sad parts still kind of get you thinking a lot. So yeah, it's nice to like actually see like good like backstory and like good raw emotion in these stories, especially because, you know, we haven't gotten something this good since like Usepion's origin story, which was like back in 2018 in the West, but we're talking about the Japanese stuff here, so 2016. I think Forever Friends came out in 2018, December 2018. So yeah, the emotion in this series was very on point, and I love to see more of it. And number 3, how like different the series is. You know, this goes along with the other 2 points, but like the emotion and the characters, of course, are 1 point, but like the setting and how the stories play out and how the characters bounce off each other. Level 5 doesn't like to go outside the norm like this that much. Like even like when they do expand series, like Shadowside got an expansion in the form of an anime and being a big component to Yokai Watch 4. They kind of played off a lot of similar tropes. Like they kind of made like the characters like not serious enough, and they didn't have a lot of like threatening situations like the movie did. They went for the detective agency thing, like because they already did like detectives like 3 or 4 times. Like, come on, Level 5, move on. Level 5 really likes, especially 2021 and 2022, are proof that like Level 5 really likes rehashing a lot of things. Of course, this was different. This is kind of to save the series, but we can see like in a bunch of previous works, we can see that Level 5 loves like reusing the same stuff and the same things, even like character designs and stuff a lot of the time, as we can see with Gusto. So seeing Level 5 doing something unique like this that doesn't really feel like Yokai Watch yet still fits in the world is really special to me, and I wish they would do stuff like this more often. But since the previous things failed, I feel like we're not going to see that again, and Forever Friends would have been perfect to be expanded in this type of way. So, did I make anybody mad? Anyway, that is it for this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think Forever Friends could have gotten an expansion? And what expansion do you think it would be? Like, what would you want to see in it? I would personally expect like kind of like a mix of like Shadowside and like the original series adventures. But what would you guys want to see in a possible like Forever Friends 2 or Forever Friends manga, Forever Friends game, which isn't going to happen because Forever Friends ship sailed a long time ago. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you like it, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye, my lonely watchers.